Hey movie lovers, Jan Becker here. This is my review of Tar. This is not only a movie review. In the second part, I'm going to pretend the movie was just a collective dream. Okay, let's start with the review. First off, I don't think a lot of people are going to like this movie just because of two things. It's taking place in the highly intellectual classical music scene. And second part of my criticism, this story is not told in a conventional way. And so you are already in a world you're not familiar with at all. And then you would get thrown into a storytelling structure that's also not familiar. So you don't know what's happening. So, but there's only one thing that really is amazing in this movie. I mean, there may be a few more items than one, but Cate Blanchett is incredible. She is mind-blowingly incredible. She carries the whole movie, and the whole story unfolds inside of her. So it's, I have to say, that's Oscar-worthy, for sure it is. So what's the movie about? That's when you live in LA. So what's the movie about? Okay, the movie is about a highly talented conductor, and this conductor is a lesbian conductor, and she is taking advantage of young female orchestra members. And it's about the, transactional relationships. And, and she's basically one of those figures who were uncovered during the Me Too movement. She's no Harvey Weinstein. She's not raping anyone. She's just using her position of power. So interesting, and also very interesting that a person like Cate Blanchett gives us the window into a person like this. So this is, the strength of the movie. And there's, and I have to admit one thing. I personally liked the movie, and I was surprised by it, because I know the storytelling was not the way I really wanted it to be. But the thing is, it's taking place a lot in Berlin, around the Berlin Philharmonic Orchestra, although it's, in reality it's the Dresden Orchestra, but the location is Berlin. So I lived 15 years in Berlin. And it's a musical piece that plays a big role as Mahler's Fifth Symphony. I love Mahler's Fifth Symphony. So, yeah. And then she was driving this beautiful Porsche. I like Porsche. Anyway, but that's, but that for me makes also, that's part of the enjoyment for me, if I can relate. And that's the problem. A lot of people cannot relate. My buddy was with me. He even plays violin. He's a musician. I'm not even a musician. He's a musician. He was just, what is this? I can't relate to any of this. And it's true. That's the problem. So, I already saw in the audience, there were a lot of older folks that you would expect to be in a symphony orchestra concert. And, but that's your typical moviegoer. So I think it's not for the broad audience, but Cate Blanchett brings it into that realm. The fact that I saw it at the EMC Theater shows that, there is confidence that this movie will at least find its audience. The themes of the movie are power and sex, and, how a talented person can go down because of very mundane and archaic desires. And for me, it's a lot about you have this one person who is not only very talented, but also very intelligent. So what do you do with this intelligence? You know, if you are much smarter than other people, can you use this intelligence to manipulate, to put yourself in a better position? And how far would you go? So I think this is what this movie is about. And then, yeah, I think that's the main thing. Human relationships. What is love? How can you connect to a person in a natural, loving way without transactional afterthoughts? There's only one, I think, one kind of pure relationship that's between the main character and the little girl, because there is no transaction going on. Yeah, overall, I would say if you really love Cate Blanchett and you know, if you know a little bit about classical music or the classical music scene, or if you like Mahler or something like that, I think you might enjoy the movie, but you'll be warned. And I think everybody's gonna like this movie, for sure. So the second part is kind of hard for me because I always, want to talk to you about from a different perspective. I want to talk to you from a different perspective, as if the movie was a dream, a collective dream, and in a way, because it's so esoteric and plays only a part takes only place in a specific part of our society, it doesn't seem much dream-like. It more seems like an individual's dream, and it's a person who struggles with these themes of power, love, manipulation, art, sexual desire. But if you look at it from a collective perspective, these themes are universal. There's always one person who's smarter than the other one, who has more insight. How much of that power do you use, If you see somebody you're attracted to, how much of your, wits do you use to, outsmart that person, put them in a position that they fall for you? I mean, it's just human nature. So it's still not really dreamlike. There's some dreamlike sequences in it. I think when the director tries to use images to describe the situation she is in. There's a scene, I don't want to get much to it, but it has to do with the basement and a dog. And that obviously, and water. Basement, dog, water, that's like unconscious stuff, danger, sexuality, death. And these are some images, very strong images that are very descriptive at this point in the movie. I would say almost a little bit on the nose, but that's fine. It's good. It was actually I enjoyed that scene. And then there are other times at night when she wakes up, and it's very dreamlike. But as a collective dream, it's kind of hard to say, oh, this is us as society. We're dreaming this dream as a collective for the evolution of mankind. I don't think so. It's more like an intellectual dream. It's always when movies are made from people that are very brainy. Anyway, you know what? I've been talking forever. I hope this was not too long. And next time, I hope we'll see each other and let me know what you think of the movie. It's really, I really want to hear if I'm right with anything I say, or you think I'm a complete maniac. All right, guys. Thank you.